Hiding, baby. But what's most important? Can I know your name? Can I know your name? Wanna know your name? Can I know your name? Wanna know your name? To the smile that you show.
Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you're following me on Twitter and make sure you're checking out the website, itsmontez.com. Subscribe. If you don't, you can't keep up. Duh. If you want to connect with me, you can also check me out on Facebook, Montez McCamish. Just spell it out. Looking for some interesting reads? Make sure you check out the blog. Check out itsmontez.com. Click on the blog and you'll have lots of reading right there. Without further ado, let's get on to the show.
Been out crying in the rain. Do you think of me like I think of you? It's cold as ever, dark as weather. I ain't been crying in the rain. Will you come back? Will you come back to me, please? The views, it hits me so hard. It brings me to my knees. When I looked around, you're all I see. I could get rid of all your things, but you still haunt me. Do you think of me like I think of you? I don't think.
Hello everyone, it's Montez.com and thanks so much for tuning in. Connect with me on Facebook by just searching Montez McCamish. Be sure to check out the website, itsmontez.com. I'm very socially active and you can follow me on Twitter as well. I am also on Google+. All you have to do is search Montez McCamish. To help support itsmontez.com, please subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out all the blogs that I post. You can find my blog by going to itsmontez.com, clicking the More tab, and a drop-down menu will drop. Next, all you will have to do is click blog, and it should bring you there. Hello everyone, it's Montez McCamish from itsmontez.com. I've got 3 things that I need you to do before we go into this video. I need you to share this, I need you to comment on this, and I need you to subscribe to the channel. Those are 3 big key things for this to keep going and for me to keep on producing videos for you. I had questions asked in my Q&A video. I'm putting it up on the screen right now, so if you haven't asked any questions, you can just go to this Q&A video. I'll take questions from the Q&A video and put them into my next videos on what's going on. But I had a question that was asked that I thought was pretty interesting, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off of the Q&A and post that in this video, and I'll answer it just here in a little while. It's going to kind of relate to just really getting into whatever it is that you're going to do and going full force into it. I'm going to relate this question into that. Here's the question. You're so cute and great on camera, Montez. Is Cowboy Monty a fabulous, funny wuss of all cowboys? Does he have a girlfriend, and will she do a camera dramedy with him? You definitely have star-like quality. What's Monty's strong points? Why is he worried? Did you ever see Christopher Walken do The Continental on Saturday, 1 hour, or is it before your air? Aha. You're amazing and talented. What a real wonderful question. Yeah, so Cowboy Monty really is, I created him because I had a friend, his name is Mike Andrews, he runs a channel, I'll put that on the screen, and he created a character named Bobby. There's Bobby right there. So when we created Bobby, he created Bobby, I was kind of like, hey, that's pretty cool, you know, and so I decided whenever I first started YouTube, I was going to create another character. I was going to create something else that could bring personality of who I am to the people, you know, instead of just all the time being the serious person that I am or being informational. I wanted to be able to give you all some fun whenever inducing the content. So now I would say he's a wussy of everything. He's just a very emotional person, and he's able to let out my emotions through the content that I produce. He's just another way of me to be able to kind of get my point across. Like in the other videos that I've done, I've kind of talked to people about hearing things in different ways of getting your points across. So I feel like Cowboy Monty, he gets his point across, but it's in a very charismatic, humatic way. So that's the big reason why I created Cowboy Monty. As far as him having a girlfriend, no, he doesn't have one. Will she ever come on set? No, she probably won't. But I do know that I am working with lots of other people who are wanting to be just as creative as I am, or who would like to collaborate with me with Cowboy Monty. There are some other characters that Michael Andrews is working on, so that's pretty cool. It's like something to do, and hopefully later on I can take the videos, smash them together, and make like a comedy out of them. Pretty cool little project. It's just something to keep me active, something to keep me going, and keeping my body wanting to produce film, produce content, and just really getting better at my craft. I think that working with the content and doing the stuff over and over again, and changing and switching the film from certain ways, and doing these things like this, it's just really perfecting on what I'm doing. It's really helping me hone on that craft. It's really helping me become a better film producer, so to speak. So what are Cowboy Monty's strong points? I really honestly have to say that I think that his strong points are really just allowing me to come out of my own element. Like, again, some people have a problem coming on camera and being goofy or being however they want to be. Like, I feel like Cowboy Monty allows me a different outlet. It just allows me to be quirky and crazy and be how I want to be without being so someone quick to judge on things. Like, I know that you've seen in some of the videos that people produce, you have like some people that are trolling comments, putting thumbs down, doing things like that. And so, like, this just allows me to just really be who I want to be me, So, like, I'd say his strong points, it's the strongest thing that he gets to do. He's crazy, he's nuts, he does weird things, but all through it, he's teaching you something, and he's just who he is, and he doesn't let anything else, like, confer that. He's just the way that he is. So like, for the nervousness and stuff like that, it's just because he's not sure how other people are going to take him. He's not sure what's going to go on. So, like, I try to, like, relate that into what's going on. Oh, he's coming back, the people are going to come back, they're going to say something. And then, so he's kind of on the wall about things. Yeah, so, like, watching stand-up comedy, Saturday Night Live, 1 o'clock. No, I never really got to watch much TV. Growing up in my family, Mom really didn't have a television. She always told us, if you want to go do something, go outside and go have fun. Television wasn't a very big thing in my family. Like, I did sit down and watch some, Red Rifle with grandfather, stuff like that. I did watch films. But as far as, like, being up late watching them, or being during the day and watching them, or even at nighttime watching them, no, it didn't really happen because we didn't have a TV. Now, it wasn't until I got older and Mom purchased the TV, and then I was, like, totally addicted. But it wasn't into, like, comedy and things like that. It wasn't until later, till, like, 16, 17, I'd watch Red Skeleton. I'd watch him. I'd watch a little bit of Richard Pryor when it's hit, like, 23. And I'm 26 now, so, like, like, as far as comedy came, it wasn't until later I started watching films, so, no, I never watched it before. Thanks for mentioning it, because I will be checking it out. So I don't really want to leave the film without giving you all some kind of, like, information on, like, how this makes sense, or how you could apply this. So, like, I think that if you, like, make a third person or a second person, or you try to do these kinds of things, and you really step outside of your element, and you really act as in the way that this person acts, just kind of, because, like, when you step out of your element, you are who you are. You're being yourself, but you're just being the normal you. So, like, when you're running around and you're laughing and you're being this person, but then you're doing this and recording it and putting it on here, I think that it's really helping you take yourself and push yourself further at the things that you're good at. A lot of times we'll spend time worrying about the things we're bad at. But if we're going to be on the screens and stuff like that, a lot of us, we're really good on the screen. A lot of us, we do a good job on the screen, but sometimes we really need to crush that barrier, whatever it is that's holding you back. You got to crush it. And so, like, for me going out and doing Cowboy Monty and bringing him on the screen, it really, really makes me evaluate myself. It makes me hold myself accountable as well. You know what I mean? Like, because within the character, and I'm doing contents for the character, and I'm doing things like this, I kind of really got to keep up in doing what I'm doing. So with all that being said, it's stressful because you gotta, Cowboy Monty, he hadn't been on for a while and he's crying out he hadn't had any content done for a while. He wanted to be part of the team. So like all in all, in ways, it keeps me pushing myself into what I'm doing. It's really causing me to work harder and doing things. Like a lot of people that do videos that are like Q&As. I mean, I just did a Q&A, and with the Q&A, I'm able to give more content back to you all. It's able to give me more ideas just as well. So, yeah, that's just a little piece that you could take home, and you could save that, or you could give it to somebody else. Because again, in order for this to work right, you're supposed to share it. So if you share this and you give this to someone else, hopefully it could give them some motivation, some boost to get back into things. I have a very nice little read on itsmontez.com, how to write an epic about me page for your blog. Be sure to check that out and share it. Leave your comments below. You watched the whole spiel in the beginning, I hope. Make sure you subscribe to all the social media accounts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, itsmontez.com. And if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to keep up. Duh. Itsmontez.com. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Essentially, I'm just the cutest little deer ever. You're out of it.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Lady D, and just introduce you guys to this product, Super Female Vitality for women. They also sell it for men. I came across it from a good family friend, put me onto it. It was created by Alex Jones. If you guys don't know who he is, he definitely got a website, infowarslife.com, which you can go onto that. You can follow his news. What he does is show the truth in his news. The debate, for example, that's going on. You can see the true news, what more than they showing you in CNN and whatnot. You should definitely check out the website. If you go look into their shop, you're gonna see this for women and males. Female and male, the Vitality, Super Female Vitality. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of this Super Female Vitality created by Alex Jones. You just need a couple drops. Tastes sweet. It's pretty good. It gives you energy, gets you motivated throughout your day. You could definitely go out and check out his website, and that is infowars.com. Again, infowars.com. His name is Alex Jones. All of the products that you purchase, which are natural, give you natural energy and do much more. You could definitely purchase that off the website, and it goes towards the funding in their news. You could check out the true news. I've pretty much, what I've done is replace my Red Bull that I would usually buy on my Monster energy drink that I would usually be sipping on, 2 for $5 in the gas station. Give me 2 Red Bulls, while I'm working, drink them after work. Instead, what I've done every day, I just go ahead throughout my day, whereas I would replace my lack of where I feel exhausted, I would replace that with an energy drink, right, to get boosted. No, instead, I've been using this energy supplement, the Female Super Vitality for women, and it's definitely giving me more energy, more of a drive, more of a want to get things done. And I've definitely been able to cut out energy drinks in my life thanks to this product. And I definitely, just to give you guys a tip, just how I get through my day, I would definitely recommend this to any woman or man. So with this all natural product, Super Female Vitality, I don't get like a crash sensation. I don't get nauseated. I don't feel like I want to throw up like I would in my experience from the past, taking 1 hour energy drinks. They have made me very sick. That was on a road trip I was taking over 15 hours, and I decided to get pumped up on 1 hour energy drinks, and I totally crashed and had to get a hotel room and was vomiting as well. So So those are side effects, even long-term side effects that can come with caffeine drinks and Red Bulls. This is all natural. This is going to get you motivated, up, boosted. It's like a natural go. It's better than the caffeine drinks. It's better than the Red Bull. It's better than the 1 hour energy. It's better than the Monster, the caffeine pills, whatever it is you're using to want that extra oomph in your day. This is where it's at. Super female vitality. You just need a couple drops every day. Use it. It will make a change and you won't crash. You won't burn with it. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you for sharing with me. It's Lady D. It's fun keeping it real with you guys, and be sure to stay tuned for upcoming content. Be sure to check out InfoWarsLife.com, created by Alex Jones, Super Female Vitality. Be sure to go and check out that InfoWar news. Thank you, and stay tuned, Lady D.
Hello everyone, it's Montez McCamish. Thanks so much for tuning in. I've got another interview for you. As you know, on itsmontez.com, we always like to put on important interviews that are going to motivate you to get you to that next level. Make sure that you click, I don't know which way to do it, which way. Make sure you click this right here. If you don't click that bell, you're not going to get all the new live feeds and all the new uploads that I get. So make sure you click that bell. Thank you so much for tuning in onto the level. All right, so tell me a little bit about the beginning of the growth. Like, so you're going through you got the name, you got the idea, you're starting to stream on Blog Talk Radio. You're looking for listeners. The listeners coming quickly. Give me a rundown. What's going on?
Absolutely not. But here's I give man. Where would I be without this guy? A guy named Michael McFadden, who's still in radio, still my mentor, and doing some fabulous things out there in morning time radio. Has one of the best morning time shows out. And he told me something that really resonated as I'm following. This brother comes and back then, not a lot of people wanted to help you. So right. Here's this guy, who's younger than me, who's like, listen, young pup, here's how it goes. And I'm like, got my ears like, I really want more listeners. I want to be big. I want to be great at this. And his advice was be consistent. And I'm like, what? That's it. Give me something else to go with. And he's like, this is a marathon. This is not a race. And that advice helped me really relax and just kind of calm down. And because I used to worry about how many listeners did I have this week, this second, this night. And I realized that was driving me crazy. And you know what? There are a lot of things you can do to get listeners, and we talk about that. But sometimes it's just about being consistent. And so once I pulled back the reins, it became a lot easier to do radio, because then it was like I wanted to just have fun. I didn't care if anybody listened, to be honest with you. So yeah, in the beginning, it was rough. It was, it was you get your parents, you get your friends, and then they usually die away around month 3. Right. All your close friends, they the nuance is gone. They're like, okay, still doing it, whatever, and they go away. But what happens after that, you've kind of built something, right? Something goes out in the universe, and what comes back is people who actually resonate with what you're talking about, whether it be your topic, whether it be just you. Sometimes in radio, that's why they call it radio personalities. Sometimes it's just about you. And in this case, I think a lot of it was about just me and me just being blatantly honest and transparent about my life at that time. Other people who was going through that was like, dude, yeah, I get what he's talking about, because I'm in the same boat. I got put out of my house just like he did, or, I lost all my money just like he did. And, I was, contemplating jumping off a bridge just like he was. And so you get these people over time that just stick. And then again, I wasn't worried about who was listening to my show, but every now and then you bump into someone at the market or at an event, and they'd say, hey, I listened to your show and it was great because you had all, and that, man, listen, one person does that a day and you're good, right? You don't care if who's listening, you're good. And so that was the evolution. In the first couple of years, I didn't have a lot of people, but I had consistency. I showed up. At that time, I was doing 2 shows a week. Sunday at 4 p.m. and Wednesday at 7 p.m. And I showed up every single day. I did not miss, and I followed the advice of Michael, and I was consistent.
Bada bing, bada boom. What did you think about that interview? It's all about consistency. When you are consistent, things are going to fall in line. Again, like you heard on that interview, it was not about how many people were listening. It was about having fun. Make sure you're having fun in whatever it is that you're doing. If you're having fun doing it, it's going to make it more reasonable for you to want to do it. And make sure you're consistent at whatever it is that you're doing. Consistency is the key. I need you to like, comment, subscribe, and share so everyone is seeing these films, so I'm understanding what you think about these films, how you feel about these films, and I need you to like it, because if you're not liking it, it's not going into the whole circulation of how YouTube works. Again, click that bell. If you don't click that bell, you're not going to get all the notifications for when I go live or for when I have new uploads. Again, subscribe to itsmontez.com. If you don't do that, you can't keep up. Duh. Thanks so much for tuning in. itsmontez.com. Working on production. I don't know if y'all spend the time you've been watching videos, but I'm getting a job. It'll be part-time, and while I'm doing that, it will be working on you all. Bandmate, thanks a lot. Bandmate, check them out. It's a quarter past 3, and you're not next to me. Hiding and called your phone. I feel like you're ignoring me. I done looked around, and all I see were your days surrounded now to me. I don't think I've ever been out crying in the rain, but ever since you left, things ain't been the same. Do you think of me like I think of you? I don't think I've ever. Hello everyone, you are now tuning into itsmontez.com. My name is Montez McCamish, and I am the host of the show. Have you got a Facebook? I've got a Facebook. Make sure you connect to me by just searching Montez McCamish. I'm very active. You can also follow me on Twitter. It's a great way to reach out to me. Make sure you head over to the website, itsmontez.com. Click on the tabs above to give you a more in-depth about what exactly I am doing. Are you looking for an interesting article to read? You may now do so by going to itsmontez.com, clicking on the More tab, and clicking the selection of blog. This is where you will find more information. Thanks again for tuning in. itsmontez.com. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you don't do that, you can't keep up. Duh. So I think again, people always want to put the roof on the house when it hadn't even had the walls yet. And I think it's just really the paradigm of how it's really just been pushed to people. If you look at celebrities and things like that, everything looks like it's just snap, we're there. Time and time again, you'll hear that someone's getting frustrated because they can't have something to happen within the time that they wanted to do it. Newsflash, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Quit expecting something to fall inside your lap right here, right now. Within the time you've spent complaining, you could have been spending that time to make yourself progress forwards within whatever it is that you're doing. So you say you spent a year trying to do what you're doing. Try a little bit longer. Try 2 years. So you say you spent 2 years working on what you've been doing. Maybe you need to change it up and try something else. If you look at people inside the music business, you can see often that there's lots of things that could cause delays inside of people breaking their records. When looking at all the components that build up the music business, it's quite evident to see that there are lots of different trials and tribulations, lots and lots of different problems that you're going to have to go through. So then again, you have to go back and tell yourself it's going to take time, and that goes for anything, whether it's blogging, whether it's music, whether it's living your life. It's going to take time to learn. You've got to remember consistency is the key. There. You know, everything looks like this, but really the work ethic is so crucial. Could you tell us a little bit about your work ethic?
Well, mine personally, I've been very fortunate to do something that I love. And so it doesn't mean I love it 100% of the time, but it's easy to generally do the work that I need to do to get things done. I think
Viewers, this is so important. It is so important that you really take this in. Do something you love doing, and it's almost as if you're not even working. I know so many people that work a job just to do it, just to get by, and they are miserable. I believe that if you're really trying to be happy within yourself, it's being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. So if you're going to work making a paycheck and you hate what you're doing, and you can't even stand the job, what's the reason? There is no point, there is no happiness in life, I'd say. But then on the other hand, you'll read articles about people that make nowhere near as much money as the other people might, but they're happier. And you have to ask yourself, just why might that person be happier? But then when you really sit down and look at it, this person has really stopped and took in what they like to do and made it their priority. Instead of just working somewhere just because it makes them this amount of money, they decided that they were going to do something that they really enjoy doing versus just doing something because of the amount of money that it offered. When it came down to it, their happiness was more than the money.
done. I think that's why it's important to love something that you do. Now, even when you do, hey, there are times we've got to do things we don't want to do. And we've got to do it. We just have to, because that's part of the game. It's part of what you have to do. But when you find something that you basically really love, it's a lot easier to make yourself do those things you don't always want to do, because most of the time you're doing things you want to do. So when you have something that you love to do, that's a great start. Of course, you also need to have some talent in it. So it's something that you're good at as well as what you love. And then finding a way to take what you love and what you're good at and associate that with a marketplace that will pay for it.
I think that's the hardest part, though. It's finding how to apply it. I've been doing some videos with people and telling them, hey, look, if you want to reach a better audience, or if you're looking to do an audience, I just did one with Emily McGaw. It was talking about Periscope. And she's talking about how it's right here, right now, your get connection with me in my everyday life feeling. That's just one way to stream it out and to get more connections and contacts with people. Or can you give us some more ways to put this stuff on a platform? I know you're on LinkedIn. That's a good place to go, but is there any more places?
I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. I've got pretty good presences there. I don't think we have to be on every platform. In fact, for most people, I think it's counterproductive to be on too many, because you can really be just all over the place doing nothing but that. I think it's good to be on a couple of them that are sort of in your wheelhouse, that allow you to connect with people that's easiest. I think that when we're on social media, I think we have to look at it like any other tool. It's not the thing itself. It's a tool to help build relationships.
When it comes to building relationships, sure, it can be quite frightening to build this kind of communication back and forth with someone, especially being that you can't even touch or physically see the person right in front of you. To build a relationship, it can be quite time-consuming, whether or not you're passing it through emails or you're conversating back and forth through Instagram, Facebook was invented so you can make the messenger app kind of go back and forth, and you do have the phone on Facebook so you can call and talk to each other and build your relationship there. But still, it is quite time consuming and it can be bothersome to build the relationship. But as long as you build the relationship, I do think that you'll be able to see things blossom inside your future. So alongside the fears of building a relationship, there's other fears that will come to mind too. Is our content good enough? Do I post enough regularly throughout the day? There's lots of different questions that you can keep asking yourself, but it really is going to come down to just this. You have got to be your own worst critic. Really, it's going to come down to what you think about it and how the things are going through your head. But then also too, when you're having other people induce your content, you got to think not everyone's going to enjoy your content. I have an interview that I've uploaded here that you can take a listen to, and LaDonna Marie is going to give you a real good clarification for just that reason why it doesn't really matter what other people have to say about the content. Why you shouldn't give up just because one person tells you your content's not good, or maybe you feel like maybe you're not doing good enough with your content. If you have these situations like this, watch this second half here, and it will definitely clear it up for you. What was the hardest thing for you to deal with when becoming an author and getting your books published and things like this, and how did you overcome it?
The hardest thing for me was in the beginning was that nobody was going to like it. I really felt like nobody was going to like it, but my obedience to the gift was, no matter what I feel, this is what I have to release out into the atmosphere. I have to, but the more and that was just my own little bubbles, and before you put something out there, you're like, oh, how are people going to receive it? So now moving forward, because I've been going through a lot of stuff with this last book, and now I'm like, okay, so I'm going through some stuff with this book, so I know this book is ready to rock the world. I know this is about to change some people's lives. This is about to do what it's supposed to do, because if I feel this uncomfortable, trying to, do it, and it's what I love, I know that it's about to impact some people's lives. So just getting over that initial, are they going to like it? And then now I'm like, well, no matter if they like it or not, I'm going to put it out there into the atmosphere. Because like I said before, I am not going to leave this earth full with words or with thoughts, or I'm not going to have any shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, I know you heard that. I don't want to die with any shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I've made a film here that you can search on my YouTube. There will be no shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And check that out. But anyway, like she said, you don't want to go out with the shoulda, coulda, woulda. The brain is a terrible thing to waste. There's a lot of people out there that said, I could have done that, but I should have done this, but I would have done this, but all that kind of stuff right there. There are so many people that have that shoulda, coulda, woulda syndrome. But you know what? Before you die, you better do whatever it is that you can do. Gary Vaynerchuk, he says it best. A lady asks him for some motivational advice, and then he says, "You're going to die." And so and that right there should just be a big thing to change your mind around right there. Something as key as that, knowing that one day you may not wake up again to fulfill whatever it is that you were trying to do. Knowing that one day you might wake up and not be able to continue marking things off your bucket list. I mean, really, you could die eventually. I'm not saying that's a terrible scenario. We don't want these things to happen, but then when you sit down and you think about that shoulda, coulda, woulda syndrome, you don't want to be an advocate for it. You don't want anything to do with it. You don't want to die with the shoulda, coulda, woulda.
I'm not going to have no regret. I'm going to put it out there, and whether they like it or not, I tell my sons, because I have 2 sons, and I tell them all the time, when they're younger now, but when they get older, they're going to be able to say, my mom has books out. And they say that now, but when they get older, they be like, this is a book, my mom did this. It's in literature forever. It's out in the atmosphere. put something out there for my legacy. So when they get to be older and older and they're telling people, yeah, my mom is a writer and this is what she do. This is her book. This is the legacy that she left for us. That's what's important to me. I know there are going to be some people who like it. I know there are going to be some people who don't like it. I got a 1-star review, I think, on Until Tomorrow Comes. But at that point I said, and I had 48 other 5-star reviews. So that 1-star review, you know, at first I was like, wow. But then I said, everything that I write isn't for everybody. And it will find the audience that it's for. So some people may not like it and some people do. So I just focus on the people that do. And the people who don't, oh well, find you something else to read.
So when we're getting to the point and we're talking about value, you know, supplying value, being worth value, bringing value to someone, a lot of times we don't take the time to sit down and think about how we can find the value in ourselves. Exactly, how can we show the value in ourselves without having someone pay for it right off the bat? Well, I've got a video for you here, and I hope this can clarify it up for you. I hope this can give you some power for you to find out how you can find your value and then decide on how you're going to distribute it, whether or not you decide to go through your blog or your websites, or whether or not you want to use Facebook or Snapchat, just however you find out to do it. Listen to this interview, and I hope that it can give you some insight. A lot of people are in the music industry, into blogging, into a lot of things. I'd say beginners, people that are in your teens. If you're like maybe just starting out to doing something, that is critical. Gary Vaynerchuk speaks about it a whole lot as well, giving value to the people. But everybody's like, I want to sell it. I want to sell it. Like, so that whole epiphany thing, that whole giving the value thing, like, can you go a little bit further deeper in there? Like, a lot of people are like, oh, how do I give value? I don't have any value. I don't know any value. Can you go deeper into that for me?
Sure. And everyone does have value, and it's understanding the value you bring to the table that is so important.
I'd say finding your value is going to be one of the hardest things for you to do. Not everyone's born knowing what their value is, but everyone is born with a talent. So usually when you find out what your talent is, that could somehow apply to the value that you bring. But then again, I think when you think of value, you really need to stop and think of the smaller things. Like if you're thinking about like polls, or if you're thinking about what people like, you know, on certain situations, they'll have like Nielsen's rating. They'll come out and they'll ask you questions. Or if you're thinking about voting, or if you're thinking about like feedback for someone, your feedback is very valuable. So like you have a lot of people on YouTube that might give their experiences on a product that they've used, or what do you call that, a review. If you know, there's lots of different things to where there is value. It's just whether or not you see it as value. So a lot of times I think you're going to have to take your head outside of the box and really live as if you are the box. You know what I mean? You have to think a little bit further on the outside whenever you want to find your value. But I do think that this should help you out, trying to help you find your value. It should give you a leadway on how to give you direction to find more value. Anyway, let's tune back into this interview.
Now, at first, you may not have a whole lot of people wanting to hire you and pay you money for what you're doing, but there's always a way to build relationships with people. And it's building those relationships that lead to getting the opportunities to provide value in such a way that you'll be compensated financially.
So after we hear him say that, he says build relationships, and a lot of people are like, okay, I can't build a relationship. I don't know how to build a relationship. But the biggest thing is right here, right now, today, what you're listening to me on, whether in fact you're on your phone or on your Mac or on your PC or on your tablet or whatever the case is, whatever you're listening to me on right now is the biggest tool for communication. Right now, you are in a universe to where there are thousands and millions of people sitting here right now looking for a conversation. If you look at Facebook and the functions and how it works, it's solely on conversation. It's solely on people liking your content, letting you know that they like your content. It's solely on messaging back and forth to someone that you're talking to. So when you find these people inside the groups or inside the things like this, when you find these people, all you really got to do is build a positive relationship. Again, building a relationship is not all the time the easiest, but then if you think about it, when you first met somebody, it takes time. So like if you're trying to build a relationship in a day, you sometimes it might happen, but if it does, good, that's great. But if it doesn't, you can't just stop there. So we look at YouTube, for instance. If someone's sending you a comment on YouTube and you don't respond back to that comment, that's a relationship you missed to make. If someone's tweeted you and you haven't tweeted them back, that's a relationship you missed to make. If someone has commented on your Facebook post and it was a while back, but you had just got a comment today, but the post that you made was 2 weeks ago, and you don't respond to that person, that's a conversation you just missed that you could have made. That conversation that you make makes a friend. After you make the friend, then it's possible to make the revenue off of whatever you're doing.
So as you said, a blog is a great way to build value and get people to know the kind of value you provide without their having to take a chance in order to consume this value. You can have a talk show like you do and interview people. And when you do that, not only are you bringing the value to your guests, but you're building relationships with the people that you are interviewing. You can bring value to people when you know what they're looking for and you can connect them with someone else. All the while, sure, you're out there selling your products and services, absolutely. But you're also building these relationships. And then when you build these relationships, you're in a position, you've created the environment where you can ask people for advice or you can ask people to introduce you to someone and do these things. So it's always a matter of looking for, what you can give as opposed to what you can get, right? But that's just the focus. The focus is on the giving.
Wait. Did you get some knowledge? Are you looking for some knowledge? If you're looking for the knowledge, make sure you're subscribing and sharing. Because if you're not subscribing and sharing, other people aren't going to learn just like you're learning. Sharing is caring. itsmontez.com. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Find a better way. I'm just trying to find a better way. He carries our cross so that we can see a better day.
Yeah, I wanted to add one thing. Okay, so this is for people that are looking to advertise their products on websites. Okay, obviously you can go through AdSense to do that. You can do a bid for your product. Okay, so this is something that I learned a while back because I used to sell products online like crazy. So I wanted to know, where am I going to get the best cost per click? How am I going to get the best cost per click? I would suggest to almost anybody advertising their products to use Facebook, okay, and also Google AdSense if you're advertising a product. If you have a product, you're selling a wagon, a kid's wagon. I'd like to get into this on some point and teach people how to do this stuff, because this is important. You can make $10,000 a week selling T-shirts on Facebook. I know a lot of people are like, wow, this is, that's crazy, but you can do it if you know what you're doing and you know how to do it right. Something that I did before I was doing this, I did it a lot, but slowly my life became less about money, more about doing what I'm doing now, because I don't make anywhere near the amount of money doing YouTube videos and doing the ministry stuff that I made selling T-shirts, selling crazy stuff online, just whatever I could sell to make, whatever I found a niche in to make money. It's important that you know a couple things too, especially if you're looking for a sponsor. And I think sponsorship is something that not a lot of people know a lot about. Or if somebody's like, I want to feature, you can feature your product on here, this is how much you charge. It's really important that you do not get scammed in this, because there's so many people out there that will say, hey, and I just recently went through a situation where somebody's like, pay us $500 a month and we'll stream your videos online. I'm like, no. First off, don't ever pay anybody to stream your videos. Don't ever do that. That's the stupidest thing ever. Nobody does that. Anybody that has any kind of Anybody that has any kind of a audience whatsoever, whether it be Netflix, whether it be whatever, they're not going to charge you to stream your video ever. They're not going to do that. They're going to pay you to have it on there, or they're going to put it on there for free. They're going to do that. Okay, so it's important for you to know that. I don't know how much more I could go with this. Do not get scammed by a scam artist trying to make you charge money to be on their site. Do not do it. Okay. YouTube is huge. You're never going to get a bigger audience than YouTube for streaming your content. They don't charge you anything to do it. Google Hangouts doesn't charge you anything to do it. Your own website doesn't charge you anything to do it. And any other content you're going to do, they're not going to charge you to do it. In fact, they're going to pay you if you make them money, if you do whatever you do. So that's important to note. One way you can check a website to see, okay, let's say I have a product that I'm going to sell. I want to sell a hat. I want to sell snapback hats, red and black, easy. I can get them for $1 or $2 online. I can sell them for $5 online. I want to sell these hats, but I'm looking for somebody that has a decent audience. Let's say I didn't go through Facebook. I didn't go through a website. I didn't go through any or AdSense, but I have somebody that's like, okay, hey, dude, I'll feature for $5 a month. I'll put your advertisement for hats on my website, which you can find deals like that. Believe it or not, people will do that, and sometimes it's a really, really good go around. A website that I want you guys to keep this in your logs, keep this in your mind, is called similarweb.com. www.similarweb.com. Go to that website and check the website first before you make any kind of deal with that person. Check the amount of traffic they're getting. Check their bounce rate. These are all things that I'd like to talk about sometime, because this is stuff that needs to be addressed on this stuff. If you're wanting to sell a product, you really need to know this stuff, because you can go in through all the pitfalls you want. This is something I've been really successful at, is actually selling stuff online.
Again? And I think that would be very good if we do another show. Kind of, I guess you might call this how to keep from falling in the cracks.
Oh yeah, just like how to keep from getting scammed type thing. Similarweb.com is something where you can check the website. You can check and see what kind of traffic they're getting, but you can really catch a deal sometimes. I mean, going through Google AdSense is a really easy way to do it, because they automatically put your ads on any website that uses ads, and they know how to get you a cost per click. They know which ones to hit, because they make money if you make money. So it's important to do. Google AdSense is really good. Also, Facebook's really good to do. But let's say I found somebody that's a friend of mine. Or not even a friend of mine, just somebody that has similar stuff to what I have, that they have going on, and I think that their target audience is where I want to hit. So let's say I'm selling the toy carts, and I find somebody that has kids books on their website. Okay, hey man, I want to sell my toy carts on your website. I want to create an ad for your website. I'll give you this amount of percentage for everything that gets sold on your website. Before you do that, you need to find out how much traffic they're getting, and it can be very beneficial, because they may not be used to receiving any for ad space in their thing. So you might be able to pay them, get by with $5 or $10 a month, and which would be way better than AdSense and way better than Facebook if you can find the right website that'll do it. And you just need to know how much they got. It's similarweb.com. You can type in their web address, and you can see how much traffic they're getting, what pages they're getting the most. Well, if you upgrade, you can see which pages on their website they're getting the most traffic, and then you can say, look, on this page on your website, I want to advertise this, and I'll give you $5 a month for it, $5 a week, whatever you think it's worth to you to do it. If you're selling kids carts or kids toys or whatever, a website that has kids books or kids content, like say they have kids educational videos, that's a good place to start. That's a good place to do it. You can target your audience with it. This is kind of involved in analytics. Analytics is so deep of a conversation. We could literally talk for hours on analytics, because it's so, especially in business, and maybe in ministry it's not. It is important to know your target audience in ministry, but it's more important in business to know your target audience and to know how you can get in front of your target audience, because we're talking like, a big difference, because like ministry, your audience gets kind of set for you in a way, with the content you produce. If you're selling a hat, you're gonna want to go to people that wear hats. So if you're selling beard balm, you want to find people with beards. If you're selling kids toys, you want to find parents with kids. You want to get in your niche audience. So it's so important. And I'd love to get into a little bit more sometime. I know it's like we're coming up on an hour right now, but I think it's so important of a subject. Really do your research. I mean, there's other people that have done YouTube videos about, you know, similar things probably, I'm sure, and not a lot of people even give this information out, because I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have really successful businesses, but if you try to ask them questions about it, they look at you as competition and they don't want anything to do with talking to you about this stuff. I mean, I tried so long when I was selling t-shirts and selling things online to find somebody that could help me out, and I saw plenty of videos that say how to do this, how to do that, but they never gave you the real nitty-gritty. They just kind of like, well, motivate you here, go on Facebook, do this, but they never really explained it to you in
Did you enjoy this knowledge? If so, please share. And make sure to tune in every single Monday at 9 o'clock. Get this knowledge with itsmontez.com, featuring John Pounders from Now You See TV. Thanks so much for tuning in. This film has been sponsored by Now You See TV. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's Montez.com for everything Montez McCamish. Duh. It's Montez.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I actually wanted to talk to you about your failures. I've failed a lot. I've gone through some things. I didn't finish, you know. I would try to, like school for instance, I didn't finish school. I ended up going and getting my GED, but I failed at making it through high school. You know, I failed at continuing on the basketball team and stuff like that. You know, I failed at, sometimes I would try to get a project done at this time and I wouldn't get it done, you know, or you know, failure. You know, I just wanted to talk to you about failure. Whenever maybe you might have something you're trying to do and you don't, the outcome isn't what you want. Failure. Within failure, there's learning. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. It's not lose. You know what I mean? Because you haven't lost. You just learned something. You learned how else to go about something. You learn the do's and the don'ts. You learn how to go about the next task that there might be at hand. You know, if you go into the situation and you don't learn anything, then I would say it was a loss. You know, I would say you lost. You know what I mean? So if you have that closed mind saying either you win or you lose, you've already lost. So you got to really have the mind of you win or you learn. You know what I mean? So like when I go into all the situations that I'm going into, I'm every situation I'm going into, I'm not ever going to lose it if I've already got the idea that I'm going to learn it anyway. You know what I mean? Like if I don't win within what I'm doing, the posting of the posts, the recording of the videos, or the deals that I might need to close on promotion, or maybe if Underground Marketing or has an interview that we might need to do, if we could close on that interview, be there on time. You know, either you do and I am there on time, or I'm not on time and I learn for why I'm not on time. I didn't lose, I had to learn. See what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted to bring to you. I wanted to let you know, whenever you might not get what you want, or it might not be the outcome that you would desire, don't look at it as a loss. Look at it as a learning situation. There's times where you're going to hit these learning curves that you're going to have to learn to go about things a certain way. With that being said, leave your thoughts below. We are so thankful for our subscribers. Like, comment, and share this video. It's Montez.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. This film was brought to you by NowYouSeeTV, itsmontez.com. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thanks so much.